Hey,
That just took.
blessings. It's so happy. I'm so happy to get you in here because we've been having issues.
Oh, yeah. Oh, can you hear me? And
I
see me
sure
well?
You're a
can.
little low. You're a little
Yes.
low.
You are a little low. Okay.
One moment.
Hi, Kiki. Thanks for joining us in this
How's that?
conversation.
Yeah, that sounds better.
Yes.
Absolutely. Perfect.
Absolutely.
I've been listening, but I wasn't able to jump in. So I'm
Right.
finally glad that I was able to
Yes.
jump in. So, and you ladies look fabulous as always. Oh,
thank
absolutely
you.
beautiful.
You
I
too.
love
We
it. I
all
love it.
reflections. All
Absolutely.
reflections.
Absolutely.
I love
Yeah,
it. I
this
love
beautiful
it.
sister, Shiva
Yes.
Star, is a part of women. She's a great part of the women along the way. We've been working together for some years. She is amazing.
Yes,
A
we have.
author as well. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you take
Yes,
it.
thank you. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. I had wrote notes and everything, y'all.
Oh God. Okay. Yes.
So I have to share this with you. I was so excited because Tony and Shira, they're really doing some incredible things. And so we would just happen to be talking one day, and I just kind of said something to them and they were like, wow. And so I want to share it with you all. So one of the things for me that I had to realize is that there is a difference. And I think we tend to forget that our sexual identity is separate from our sexual expression. So I, as a woman, right? I, as a woman, and I'm like, okay, I'm a heterosexual female, but my sexual expression might not be as constant as a man that I'm engaged with, a man that I'm interacting with. So if I'm interacting with a man who is more desiring of sex maybe every day, and I, in my sexual expression, only want to engage in sex maybe 3 times a week, should I then deprive him of being able to fulfill that desire within himself when I know that based on my sexual expression, I'm not willing or wanting to do that? And so when I understood that, I realized that it would be selfish of me, right? It would be selfish of me to request someone who I say I'm in love with to deny himself an aspect of himself when I equally know that I'm not willing to fulfill it.
That's an amazing like epiphany. Like that's big. That's big.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes as women we don't assess, and we're not connected to ourselves to know that. Like we don't know ourselves. We're just kind of moving off of impulse and reaction to things, and not really looking at the whole of it. Urban Mystic says profound. Urban Indian says, I'm just saying what I think, y'all. Take it away. This is a great group discussion. Thanks. That's Urban Indians. That's amazing. Yes. Tony, what's your thought? Because I can agree. I can agree because I'm a little bit older, and there comes a time where I'm still fabulous, y'all. But I'm just saying.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You definitely still fabulous.
But sometimes, the real is sometimes you just be tired, and it could be hormonal. Like we go through so many other things, but it can be hormonal, and you realize certain things about yourself that you may not want to be in that situation.
And I think,
go ahead, sis.
And I think it kind of requires us to shift away from this possessive aspect of relationships. Right? Because we have to understand that a person is not ours. Yes. They are placed here to be our mates, but they are individual. They are not ours for self. Yes. Right? And because they're not ours, what they desire is going to be different. What they need is going to be different. What they want is going to be different. And I think I think a lot of people want to say that they're in love with someone, but they don't want to allow that person to be the core of themselves, the pinnacle of self. And you can't have them both ways. You can't say I'm in love with you, but only when you're with me, only when you're doing what I want, only when you're doing, because that's not what in love is,
unconditional.
right?
No, I feel that completely. And I think I have entered a space now where I'm just figuring out exactly what I want, and understanding that I have lived a possessive, wanting to just have mine to myself. But the reality is, because of that, I attract two different type of men. And it's either super possessive, or super emotionless.
Unavailable.
Yes.
Yeah, unattached. Yeah, emotionally unavailable.
Emotionally and mentally unavailable.
Yeah.
That's right.
I absolutely have been there. I do believe that last week or the last show, I touched on it. You know, I came in with the negative. That's not gonna happen. We're not doing that.
Right.
But period.
Right.
What? But you know, as listen. So, but as I've grown and with myself and the understanding of what it means to heal and find myself and nurture and then having the partner that I have who is absolutely
but
amazing.
that's rare. Okay,
I know.
That is very, thank you. Thank you, Tony. Because I thought it was just me. You know how many times I said that to her? Every time I see them together, I be like, y'all are my goals. Y'all my goals.
And I'm thankful for that. But guess what? I had to go through, you know, all those years of them unavailable, unattached men to get to where I am at 40. You know, I met my mate at 40. So, you know, I was like negative, and as I began to heal and feel and see and be with me and understand what my sisters and my you know what I mean, my sisterhood was going through, I was like, it's a great possibility that they'll never get to feel the love and the nurturing and the caring of a man, a black man at that. Let's get into it. A black man.
Well, and that's very real. I heard on I don't know if she's on or not. I heard on Facebook, one of my friends posted, she kind of said, absolutely not. I will not settle. And so it's interesting that these kind of alternate mateships, I don't even know if that's a word, but I like it, so I made it up. Like,
we can do that. Yeah. Go ahead.
I was like, that sounds good, right? Like mateships. But these alternate mateships are defined by negativity, but the origination of them was never negative, right? They were negative. They were always meant to build and maintain the economic power of the family, and to ensure that all the people were together, that the kids were always playing. And I know this is a far-fetched realization, but I think once my ideas about marriage changed, it was inevitable that my ideas about sex would as well. Because I think you said it earlier, Cheryl, like it's not just sex. I mean, men can have sex, the act itself, and can be completely unemotionally attached to the person performing.
Completely. Exactly.
Right. And be completely in love emotionally with someone else, because it's fulfilling an act, right? So the human nature of sex is an act. We've emboldened it with all these other things, but the reality of it is an act, right? And so
yes, it is. Sometimes sometimes along that, but it is an act.
Well, look, I have somebody who's a great aunt. She was like my grandmother, but she gave this advice to my mother, and she said, "A man is gonna cheat, but you don't worry about a man cheating. Just acknowledge if he gives away his heart. You know, like
That's
Yeah.
right.
Uh-huh.
Because the
What a
cheating and even the
goddess.
idea that he
What a
cheated,
goddess is
right?
in from
Hi.
South Africa. Our sister, what a
Okay, so I got somebody trying to
Hi.
call in. And look, Jetta said often our men willing to make the same expression of love when they are impotent or something. And so we had that conversation on the show last night too, because y'all can touch on that while I look at this right quick. Okay.
Sundi.
Yes, that's Sundi.
DR8.
Yep, that's him. I'm about to bring him.
And the water goddess. Yes.
Oh, he coming in right on time too with that question.
Uh,
Because I sure asked a different question. Okay. Why is you not doing this?
Now,
Okay.
Shiva, that
yes.
point is the last point that you made. Absolutely.
Okay, he should be coming in. Yes. Okay,
Yep.
you dark brother. Come on now.
Hey, can y'all see me?
No.
Yeah,
There we go.
we can now.
Peace. So, first of all, I'm honored to be on here. I've been in and out because I'm on the way to handle this business. Thursday nights, we had Auburn Ave 254 plug-in. Every Thursday night, so we're on the way over there right now. And so I got to hear some of the convo, but I didn't get to hear all of it. But I'm honored to be on here. And let me tell you, my brothers told me, you don't want to go on that show, bro. You don't want to be on that show with them. Who else going to be on there with you? Like, it's just me, I guess. They were like, no, you don't go on there. You answer for it. So, I told them, I ain't never scared.
Okay, so listen, I'm glad you're not never scared because we just had a question come in. As soon as I said it, I said, let me buzz this in, and bam, there you are.
That's right.
So
what was the question?
Right. So the question is, because we're talking about polygamy and a woman submitting to the concept of dating more, allowing the man to date more than one woman. But the question is, how often are men willing to make the same expression when they are going through impotence or lack of something kicks in? Like, is a man and his ego going to be willing to let that go and allow the woman to be able to just go do what she want to do?
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Talk about
it. Well, men have the ego, women have the emotions.
Yeah.
In this way that a woman will get extremely emotional about the man that they're dealing with somebody else. A man's ego gets bruised and hurt if it's not checked when she is dealing with somebody else and he thought he was the one. I thought it was me, that type of thing. So it has to be, for me, I would never ask somebody to do something that I couldn't do. Am I there? Can you hear me?
I am not frozen.
You had blinked out for a minute, so can you repeat that last line again?
I said I would never ask anybody to do something for me that I wouldn't be able to and be willing to do for them. This is equity in the relationship. And it's a very difficult question for a guy to ask himself. But if you were in that situation, and you're asking her to look at this queen, this empress, this goddess as her sister, could you look at another man as your brother in the same sense? Now, if you can't answer that question with a yes, then the conversation of polygamy should stop right there for the guy.
Yeah. Man.
Right there.
Virtual high five on that one. Yes, exactly.
All right.
I'm telling you.
But I'm saying that because that means he has not had enough internal conversation with himself to quiet his ego to be able to really have that yes and be able to be, or allow another love in this person's life.
Yeah.
Now, if you love somebody and love is unconditional, then who they have physical relations with is less important as their
he's driving. So,
we lost
Yeshiva. That was so. Marina said powerful. Okay, she had felt. Yeah, she coming back. Hold up.
And Return of the
Can you hear me?
Goddess, can more than 4 get in?
I don't know. We need to check.
We
Can you hear me?
y'all. Thank you for being with us.
Yes.
Thank you for coming in.
All right.
We appreciate y'all. We have people waiting to get in. We're so excited. This is such a good conversation. Return of the Goddess is, I don't know if she can get in with more
I don't think it's more than 4, but
okay.
you know, we can talk to them for a minute and then like bring her in.
Well, no, you guys, I will kind of come out, let Return of the Goddess come in, because I did speak a lot while we were waiting for Sundiata to come on.
Just listening for now. This is deep. So come on, let's keep rolling.
Okay, cool.
All right.
All right.
So can y'all hear me now?
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right. So yeah, he's got to deal with his emotions in the same way that a queen has got to be able to check her. He got to deal with his ego in the same way a queen has got to deal with her emotion and recognize. I think I heard meditation chick say, you know what I mean, in this day and time when there's not a lot of men who can give that or who are giving that, and women are not experiencing that, it's a great internal sacrifice and love of her sisterin to allow that to happen. That same love of my brethren is what I would have to be able to do, or at least be honest with myself. Can I do that? Can I do that? If I can't do that, then I should stop. Not because I don't think polygamy should happen.
Right.
I'm just saying for a guy to be able to really do what he needs to do 100%, he's got to actually put himself in an empathetic position with the women that he's having this relationship with. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so how would he want it done if it was him?
Right.
Now, we're not the same, but we still have feelings, we still have emotions, and we do still have ego.
Yeah.
Because it's going to make him feel good to have 2 women. But let me tell you, brothers, I'm experienced in this.
Yeah.
And it is not easy.
Yeah.
It is not something that you think, oh, yeah, I'm just going to, nah, bro. Don't go down like that. You got to put that work in equally. You got to give of yourself more. You know what I'm saying? This is not a pimp situation. Yeah. But if you, let's say that, you know what I mean, because I know a lot of times, especially with the younger folk, when they're talking about this, they're talking about woman on woman and they share the guy.
Exactly. I just brought that up.
Yep.
Right. And so this is not what I'm speaking on. That to me is not a nation building situation. It is a lust and maybe appreciation. Definitely appreciation, but there's definitely a lust factor involved. And the sex thing isn't being checked.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that, for me, that is not the way to do this, or the way. No, that's definitely not it. The way to go. But when you can love somebody enough to allow them to see love somewhere else, and allow the other person to experience the love that you've experienced, then now you're dealing with a cosmic, divine. And when you do that, because country, we've been doing this all around the world. Everywhere else, we've done this.
Yes.
Everywhere else, we've done it. You know what I mean? And we've done it in different ways, in different countries in Africa. You know what I mean? Because it's not all the same. It might be one continent, but different countries practice it differently. But the end-all, be-all is, mathematically, there's more females on the planet than there is males. Mathematically, men can have children, have 20 children in a day. Women can only get pregnant once. You know what I mean? Mathematically, the woman has the ability to nurture not just herself and not just her seed, but other seeds as well. So, and group-wise, African thought pattern-wise, without a colonized mind, who don't really like to have that relationship anyhow, historically. You know what I mean? They only use it for procreation and business. But outside of that, we were supposed to love one another anyhow.
Yes, yes.
You know?
Right.
So even if you're not intimate, even if you can't be intimate, let me get on the side, you still want to you still have a job, a duty. It should be your honor to express that love to each and every one of us. And it doesn't have to go any further than the expression. But if it does, then your mate, and there's a, straight off of that. Then you and your mate have got to come to an agreement. You know what I mean? And in that agreement, you're taking on another mate together.
Yes.
Together. It ain't, oh, I like her and I'm gonna get her, or even if the roles are reversed, oh, I like him and I want to get. No, y'all gotta have that discussion. Okay, I'm vibing with this person. I can feel with this person. You know what? This person, I can feel the camaraderie. I see why you were thinking what you were thinking when you were looking at this person. I feel it too.
Right. But
now, if you could be honest with yourself.
That's not what's happening.
No.
That's not what's happening. You know, and
not only is that, I was going to say, not only is that not what's happening, I love what Cindy said about the mathematical aspect of it.
Right.
Mathematically, like, I could, once we get to a certain age, we can't really have children. Men are in their 60s, and they're still.
We choose not, and then you have again the women who just, they either choose not to or they can't have children.
Oh, they can't. That's right. That's right. But the sheer fact that a man can, already lets us know, that clues us into the fact of the kind of even the culture, what humanity is and is not. The sheer fact that they can and we cannot.
Right.
But I love what he said about loving your person enough to let them find love.
Yeah.
That was such a profound statement. That's such a profound statement to loving them enough to let them find love.
That's right.
And the hardest part for us is knowing that sometimes them finding that love is not going to come from us, right? That's the hardest part.
And also understanding, like, it's okay if they decide to expand who they love. That's a bigger part, because we love selfishly. We have. That's how we've been trained.
Yes,
Absolutely. That's correct.
I have a question. Recently, Return to Goddess is still there since? Still there?
Who?
Return to Goddess. Come in?
Oh yeah, she's here.
Can you? Is she requesting?
Oh no, she hasn't buzzed in yet. She's.
No, I'm gonna
coming in.
Let her jump on, you guys. I'm gonna jump.
Okay.
Although I don't know. I don't know how, but somebody.
I don't know how to end it. If you just exit out or X out and then come back.
Okay, I'll exit out and come. Okay. Okay. You guys are fabulous.
Bye.
Love y'all.
Thank you
Bye.
so much. Don't you leave us. You're gonna stay.
Yeah, don't leave. Just yeah.
No, I'm just gonna come back in. Okay.
Okay. All right. King, if you
can y'all still hear me?
Yes. So we're waiting on you, Return of the Goddess.
Yes.
Sundi, I have a question for you too. What do you feel about women? Because you wasn't on the call at first, but I was saying how a lot of women, and I've talked to you about this before, but I just want to bring it in. A lot of women, and how if they are financially independent and above the age of actually, having babies or whatever, what are their benefits to being, I'm just asking for generalization. What are their benefits to being in a relationship that is sharing a mate?
Well, I'll put it from a guy's perspective, right?
Okay.
There's a lot of time and energy that it takes to be in a relationship with anybody.
Right.
Peace, goddess.
Peace.
And so, as an independent woman or whatever, a lot of their time is taken in with their business. You know what I mean? But the intimacy, humanity is still a necessity. The gender intimacy is a necessity. So if he is not fully committed to her, like 100%, like they're in that relationship, it might be beneficial for her because she's not fully committed to him. So she doesn't have those same draws that you would have in a relationship. Oh, I got to do this for him. You know what I mean? Oh, he got to do this for me. She don't need him to do that, and she only needs a certain aspect from him. You know what I mean? And he may only need a certain aspect from her that he may not be able to get from his first mate. You know what I mean? So for them, I have seen and heard where people are like, I don't mind being the second wife in this position because I've already gone through this, and they can deal with the person who they're getting into this relationship, those two people, because they still have their space, but they still get to get some intimacy. You know what I mean? That may be one possibility or one perspective in it. And that may be important because especially at that time, you've gotten everything, you've done everything, you don't need for anything except the intimacy, except that relationship. And maybe not just the relationship with him, but maybe you've been so busy on your work life that you've cut out your relationship with the female world as well. So that is added to it. It ain't just the relationship with him going on. You got a relationship with her as your sister that doesn't have to be intimate in that way sexually, but is intimate in nourishing and emotions like women have, women express. You know what I'm saying? And maybe you've been in the guy world so long that you need that as well, but you also need to be able to express that.
Yes.
So to balance yourself off, so that may be worth $1 million to them to have that at that point in their life.
Right.
I dare to say, I understand. You know, I personally am in support of the lifestyle. And I think even if I was to venture in, that would be part of why, you know, just that sisterhood, you know, that sisterhood that I can have with another woman, not sexually, because a lot, you know, that's the first thing people think. Oh, it's got to be sexual. No, it's not what
I speak up.
Huh?
I was saying speak up because I couldn't hear you.
Oh,
You
okay.
were low.
Yeah, so I'm in complete infatuation, love with my king. So I want the situation to be, I want him to be loved a certain way. So maybe it's not something that I'm not giving him, but something more that can be added to us, not sexually. And that's the first thing that people go to.
That's the word.
Return to the goddess.
I can't front. You
That's
know,
what
that's.
That's what I'm saying. Return to the goddess. What's your talk to
Yes.
us?
I'm kind of flabbergasted. I had made me a cup of tea so I could just sip and listen.
Right.
I just want to say thanks for the opportunity to get on and speak again. Peace and blessings to the brother Sundiata.
Yeah.
I'm speechless. It's like, and somebody just said, love these perspectives. It's such a fresh perspective that I don't really have anything to say. I'm just listening and absorbing, and I'm like, what's up, Selfu Raulo? And I'm just in my mind like, is this coming from a man?
Yeah.
That's why I said
sexual.
rare.
Like, conversations have not been had. Like, it's always, I want something more, you know. And for the woman, she never really knows to what extent, what height, what depth that looks like.
What that looks
to
like.
hear him just communicate that was just like, why should I say anything? I just want to hear more from the brother. You know what I mean?
Right.
No, seriously though, because as women, I think we have our own misconceptions based on what the brother is saying about what this looks like, and it's just like, we were wrong. We need to shut up sometimes and really listen to what a man really wants, and
it's individualized.
And again, I'm also kudos to the brother and enough respect to the brother because, you know what I mean, he ain't no right. You know what I mean, he's not the brother on 21st and Brown, you know, whatever on the corner. You know, he's not a random that you're asking questions to. It's a brother that's elevated from long time. You know what I'm saying? And it's obvious. It's based on what he's saying that he understands what a woman needs. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so
Right.
that's really dope. Like I'm on yield. I'm trying to hear what
I know,
the
right?
brother has to
You're
say.
right.
Don't do for that.
Like what that looks like. Like what does that look like? I have questions since that look like in the regards of like, because a lot of times you'll hear people talk about having, you know, multiples and they're all living in the same house. Like what does that setup look like for you as a man? Like how would you organize that setup? You got your wife catty corner to you right now, and you bringing in another sister. What would what does it look like? What is this
A bigger
smell
house.
like? Is everybody
If it's one house, it gotta be a bigger house.
same house?
Yes. Yes.
Is it like, help us understand what that would look like?
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
All right. First off, it would take a bigger house. If it's one house, it would have to be a bigger house. You know what I mean? You can't just have, okay, you have the little room and you have the big room. You gotta have the same big room on each side of the house if it's one house, because it takes equity. You gotta treat them with equity.
Your internet, Morena, your internet is messing up.
Go ahead, Susie. Go ahead.
Yeah, go
Okay.
ahead.
So what happens is they may not want the exact same thing, but what they want, you have to give it to them in the same amount. You know what I mean? Somebody may be needing to talk more. Somebody may be needing for action you to build something more. But you got to spend the same amount of time with both people or all the people, and at the same time be right with yourself. This is why I'm saying it's not an easy job to do at all.
Right.
You gotta, like, you think you're gonna have fun until you tired and they not.
That's right.
That's what you gonna do.
Know about it.
You know what I'm saying? And you got to rock, bro.
Yeah.
You got to come in. You got to handle your business. You got to take your juices, your herbs. You got to lift this thing up. You got to handle your business.
Under this
I don't.
Do you think that's?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you coming in.
Your internet is messing up.
Or are you?
Her it's
saying
messing up.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Text her.
asking that.
But I'm not quite sure what she's saying. But I'll say this: it can be done in the same house, because if the man is giving up and doing this for the equity, then the sisters have got to recognize what he's doing and got to say to themselves, we have to do everything we can to make this work, because he's doing everything he can to get this work done. And so it is equally yoked on both sides. You know what I mean? Because it may be a different job, but it's the same amount of importance on both. He just got more to do, and he's got to protect two.
Yes.
He's got to bring provision for two, not necessarily the finance provision, but he's got to make the decisions that they all have to agree about, and he's got to. Everything's on his back, per se.
Yeah.
If it don't work and he made the decision, he got to fix that too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's got double the job to do. You know what I mean? And in a safe sense,
Greetings.
if children are involved, then with two female mates or even two male mates, you know what I mean, whatever, the job is cut in half.
Yes.
Which actually gives the females extra time, extra energy to think and concentrate on themselves even more, or whatever that they want to invest in to do.
Right.
So it's actually lucrative for everybody involved if you were mature enough to have.
He's breaking up.
Can you? If you're mature
breaking up.
on
It's breaking
all
up on
realms.
mine,
hear
and
me?
I don't know how it is for y'all.
I can hear you, but it's breaking up. So you can keep talking, but I do. Yeah, you're there now.
Yeah.
Everybody's there.
They have to. Everybody's there. You have to have the maturity to be able to, and the empathy. Empathy is so important. You got to think about what they're thinking about, and you got to know them well enough to know what they're going to think and care. You know what I mean? So, I've been in multiple relationships where they said they agreed upon it, and it should have went that way, but somebody thought it more than they felt it. Somebody felt it more, more than they thought it, and so it wasn't equally there. But the honesty in this is what you do when you come into a relationship is a necessity.
Yes.
Now it may taint your relationship. It may taint it because you mess around. That's what you do. That's what you do. You know. But even if you're like, well, I'm not doing it.
I have another question for you, Sundi. What about the woman? Because I understand, we all are in our different phases, and we are just now having this conversation about polygamy. So what about the woman who may have not been properly loved or has been chasing her father's love or whatever the case may be?
Yeah.
What about her when she has felt like she has been absent of love, and then now should she compromise? Does it take a point for her to get to the point of polygamy, or what do you feel about that? Like, do you think she should compromise?
Well, I'm sorry, you were coming in and out.
Oh, so basically,
can you hear me?
what I'm asking.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna mute when someone is talking.
Okay. Can you hear me, Sundi?
All right. Yeah. Now I can hear you.
Yeah, so what I was asking is, like, basically, what about the woman who has been so used to the concept of monogamy and has been in a monogamous relationship, and she's lived her life that way, and she still has felt like she hasn't been loved or not? What is the process for her to get enough love? Because that's what she's been attracting at the same time. But what is the process? She's not going to come straight in a relationship that is talking polygamy when she still needs to feel, the proper energy from her own mate.
Well, I mean, you can't feel that love from anybody until you give yourself that love.
And I get that.
It has to come from yourself first. And it's not when you say, well, I've been giving myself love. It's when you know you love. And then if that presents itself, you know what I mean, and you want to experience that experience, you love yourself enough that it doesn't matter what happens in that relationship, you're still going to love yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I think that even outside of the love, I don't think that people are looking for the love from somebody else. I think they're looking for the connection that is worth something. You know what I mean? They want the person that they're connected to care about them like they care about.
Right.
And so the truth is, the more we do care about ourselves, the more we draw in people who care about themselves, and they see the love of yourself, and they see the love, and they know the love within them, and then they want to go ahead, okay, well, maybe we can do this. Because most people are traumatized and dealing with the lack of the love of themselves from the door.
From the door, you're right.
So you do have people who get into these relationships because they want to find that love, but they want to find that love somewhere else, and that's not really what that's about. You know what I mean? The love that we have is again, doesn't have anything to do with sex, per se. Sex is involved because the love is so intense, and the energy is intense after that. But I love my brothers. I love my brothers to life, word to biz. You know what I mean? Malik Kalam. But that's it. I love them like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's it. You know what I mean? So I know that love is a possibility. So in the same token, you can love anybody that way without physically being intimate with them, and still have an intimate, a spiritual intimate connection with them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And so I think where we get it, not even confused, where we get taught something from the colonizer is, and mind you, I'm saying this is one of the reasons why we can't really be in a monogamous relationship where we want to be, because we're not dealing with it from a holistic mind. We're dealing with a partial mind of colonized, trained thought patterns, and they're only being monogamous because they don't really even function with sex except for procreation. Outside of that is fun. It's just for fun. And so when we get away from that part, the element, the sexual element that we're dealing with between more than one person can happen no matter what, and does. But that never changes the love factor that a person might have for somebody, except we get told, if you loved me, you wouldn't have did that to me because you told me you wouldn't do that. And I challenge that with, if you loved them and you knew them before and you knew they were that type of person, why would you put them in that position in the first place?
Right.
You know, because when we talk about cheating, you're cheating if you make an agreement. But the person is cheating you that even asked you to make that agreement when they know what type of person you possibly could be.
Right.
And that's just a possibility. You know what I mean? That's just a possibility that it could be that way. So if you know there's a possibility that's there and you still ask that person to do that, you're asking them to go against maybe what in some dudes feel is a natural order of things. They're naturally supposed to be doing this in the first place. But you have to, as a guy, you have to respect other people's feelings and the energy that you're putting in. And let's not forget, everybody that you sleep with, you're sleeping with whoever they slept with for the last 7 years. You know what I mean? So when you add all these things together, I saw the queen over there had a question. When you add all these things together, what you're seeing and what you're hearing is a traumatized people who don't even have their own original thought patterns asked to do something that's not naturally what they've been doing for hundreds of thousands of years before this last 400. And you're asking them to do that and say this is a moral situation.
Right. Imperial Rock said, don't agree with it if you're not built for it. And
right. It's on both perspectives, because as the brother brought up earlier, you know, you have to be agreeing on both ways. The male needs to be able to agree that if a woman wants to come in because of, or wants to bring a man in because of, you know, he's impotent or something, and he just can't be sexual with her, like, do you, in the same sense, grant her that right of that kind of intimacy? Now, you, Son Diego, are a rare breed.
Yes.
You're the first man I ever heard even say something like that. Like, that is a no bueno across the board for most men.
Right.
They're not doing
it. And I'll tell you why real quick, because I'm here, so I'm going to have to get off soon, and it's been a pleasure. But let me explain this on their perspective. Men are external. You mean their organs are external. Women are internal. They feel their emotion. They have intuition a lot more than guys do. But the internal means to taking it in. Like, we can almost wash it off to us in our minds.
Right.
We can wash it off to us.
Right.
You can't wash out your insides. And men have been dealing with chasing and domination. So if you don't want that domineering man, do not make him chase you. You know what I mean? You're a grown woman. You know what you want. You knew it the first 10 minutes you met it.
Yeah.
I used to say this.
Yeah.
You have 45 minutes and no work. I'm not putting no work in. If you meet me and you know you want to deal with me, you knew that in 10 minutes, and I'll give you another 35 to figure it out and tell you everything I possibly can, good, bad, and different, about me right from the door, because I ain't playing with it. So, but you know what it is. After that, though, if you think I'm chasing you after that, I don't chase money. I manifest what needs to come within myself, and then that comes to me.
King.
So yes.
I never met a man who was okay with women bringing another partner. That's rare.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly.
Professor Professor Nita. Sis, peace, blessing, profound writer and author as well. Thank you, sis, for being in here. That is rare, but it takes a certain kind of evolved and elevated man, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, to be able to do that. And you are a very rare.
Yeah, you're a rare breed. Like I've had this conversation with someone, and that's an absolute no. Like on their side. So yeah.
I got.
Let me say this though.
Okay.
I've had experiences. I've had experiences where I didn't. Where I was on the other side. No, but it still happened, and then I lived through it, and I survived, and I was successful in the things. And then I said, "Wait a minute, what was the problem here? What was it me?" So now I had to check my ego.
Right.
Like, okay, wait a minute. I just didn't want you because of what? I own that? You don't own nothing, bruh.
Yeah.
Don't nobody own me. You don't own that. So that's how it goes.
Yeah.
So that's the issue that most men have to deal with. And once they deal with that, if it works for the team, if it works for the community, if it works for the nation, if it works for you, and maybe you and your brother like the same person.
Right.
Think about how many times two brothers like the same female and ended up fighting or maybe killing or doing something to each other because they couldn't get past the ego where they both could have been equally yoked by this one person.
Yeah.
They love each other
They
as
let
brothers,
go of the ego.
and they love
That's
the same
deep.
woman.
Oh, that's deep.
Yeah.
So I thought about that and said, where could I be? Could I be with that? And if I would ever ask that, and I have, you know what I'm saying? But if I ever ask that, then I have to be ready for that other thing too. But that's just a me thing. I just balance off like that, so I know what it is.
Yeah.
But
deep.
You have a question? I so hate that I have to leave right now.
It's all good.
But
love
let me
you.
answer your question.
Thank you, King, for coming through, brother.
We are at, if you're in Atlanta tonight, we're at 254 Auburn Ave, ATL in Atlanta, at Pal's Lounge. DJ Toxic, the One Arm Assassin, Free DJ's own, is going to be on the wheels, and we're going to be bringing that Afro beat. We're going to bring in that 80s, 90s soul, that neo soul, that new neo soul, some of that RBG music. And if you have an instrument and you want to come and rock, come on through. We'll let you get on stage and you get in free. It's only $10 to come in, and females are free till 10:30 tonight. Females are free. The queen are free till 10:30. Come on through.
Absolutely.
And I even got a little something from Bottega Boys. Bottega Boys is gonna give you a little taste test of some of their products when you come through the door. The first day. After that, you got to get your own. Okay. But come on through, y'all.
Well, we got
all right.
Peace. Thank you so much, brother, for coming through. Your energy was so respected and needed. Now we have some other women about to come in, but thank you, Sanjata.
Thank you, King.
Peace.
Peace.
Power.
So, I believe the younger sister, Urban Mystic.
She's coming in. She wants
Yes, we have a sister coming in. And who else we bringing in for this conversation?
Morena.
Oh, Morena, the goddess Morena, the return of the goddess.
Both of them should be coming in. I don't know why it's not hitting one of them. Oh, there we go. Okay, yes.
Blessings, peace.
Yay, all right, there we go.
Here we go. Yeah, that was great.
This sister is also one of the sisters of this amazing, beautiful, dope, fire lit group of women at Tribe.
Yep.
Urban Mystic, she is the woman along the way as well as Return of the Goddess. Thank you for coming in, sis. Talk about it. Let's talk. Let's chat.
Yeah, I love that. He brought a lot of good insight into this conversation. Man. It was already good, and yeah, that was the perspective I needed to see that perspective. And I think it really all comes down to honesty, whether you're in a monogamous or polygamous relationship. Like, are we being honest with ourselves and each other? And it starts with self-honesty,
right?
You know, so I really feel like
you're there, sis. We hear you, but you're buffering. We lost Naya.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine.
Okay, then both of them we just lost. It just said they just
Sisters, brothers, kings, goddesses, if you are enjoying this conversation, please like and share and tell a friend. We are having some very insightful conversations. We have some amazing things coming up with women along the way, with Tony Hickman, who is the Emmy Award Tony Hickman, author. She won just last 2021, and I'm so honored to be in her company and on this platform with her. She is doing amazing things. Urban Mystic said it kicked her out. Urban Indian said, I feel the sense of income. You say that word for me. I can't even.
Incomplacency and
that word. And are
looking for a monogamous relationship. How can I find one and know the difference so I can fulfill my heart's purpose in life? Now, this is a male.
Okay.
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 I'm gonna let you have that, Shira.
Okay, wait a minute. Hold on now. I feel the sense of looking for a monogamous relationship. How can I find one and know the difference so I can feel my heart's purpose in life? Ooh. Well, that's a lot. But I personally feel that the love unfolding and going deep within, like the brother said, you gotta love yourself. And you gotta love yourself in a way that no one else can. Only you can do that. And I feel that once you're in the spirit of that, and you're digging up, and you're throwing out, and you're seeing yourself, and then
So Sims Art said the problem with polygamy is accepting that lady might want a next man involved.
Sis, you're breaking up. Both of you
Me?
ladies are breaking up. Both of you.
Wow.
Now I can hear you. Now you're back.
Yeah, so he said the problem with polygamy is accepting that the lady might want a man involved.
You might want a next.
Man, we are dealing with this internet like no other. Oh my goodness. That's like you just blinked out, Shira.
They don't want us to have this conversation.
Really?
Yeah. We're going to have this conversation because it's a conversation to be had.
Right.
The problem with polygamy is accepting a lady might want. Well, you know what? What is that? Polyandry? And polyandry, I ain't enough to divide the pie. I'm not dividing the pie up between, more than one man. But, well, that's polygamy is being married to more than one man or more than one woman. Polyandry
so listen, hold up. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Are you reading this? Imperial _rock says, I am a child of a polygamous relationship in Islam. My was the second wife. The first wife became jealous.
Yes, and that happens. Return of the Goddess. What's your thoughts? You want to build on that?
I think she froze, man. There she
Morena.
is. Okay. Morena, you want to answer that?
I don't know if she's so pretty.
She I hate this internet is doing it.
I know. I can't hear you, sister. You're muted.
We can't hear you.
You're muted.
I don't even think she could see us. Like,
you're muted, sis.
Now she's going back out.
Dang.
Okay, so you take that question and let me see.
Can't hear you, Morena. Water God is saying can't hear you. There's Naya. She's back.
I'm back.
I don't know much about the Islamic. I know that they do practice, and I believe Morena said once.
She said like 5. They can have up to 5.
Yeah, they have up to 4, but it's better to have one.
One, exactly.
So to me, when you bring another feminine energy into the space, you have to be clear. I personally wouldn't be brought in by the man. It would have to be from, if it was me, it would have to be from the sister of the other woman, the wife's perspective, bringing me into a space to be in a poly situation, because therein lies the possibility and the probability, if it's brought by the man, that jealousy is going to rear its head, because what do you have that I ain't got?
Right.
Or what is it she's doing? So then there's that's the seed, and then comes then comes the sabotage, or you're now dealing in a not so authentic and loving space. So it's gonna get messy. It's gonna get messy at that point. So I wouldn't do it personally, but I don't know in the Islamic religion if that is what you do. The first wife was a friend of my Ummi. Oh, yeah, that's
wow.
Different. I mean, you know, the first wife was a friend of my Ummi, and so
they brought her in, and then that's when the jealousy came in. Wow.
Yeah. And maybe there was something brewing. Well, it sounds like, and I don't want to assume, but something might have been brewing there. You know what I mean? Underhandedly, or behind both your Ummi's back, that was forced, like it was a forced situation. And then if the Ummi has to now deal with that, there's gonna be some resentment. There's gonna be a whole lot of negative energy kind of swirling around in there, I mean, that's my take. That's my thought. Morena, can you hear us, sis?
You're muted.
That's crazy.
You got.
Yeah.
You're breaking up.
Yeah, she's breaking up bad.
Can you take your Wi-Fi off? Turn your Wi-Fi off.
Can you hear me now? Oh, it's a Wi-Fi phone.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
I mean, so it doesn't run off of data?
Yeah, my phone only works via Wi-Fi. You guys
Oh,
can you hear me?
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. I can hear you now.
Yeah, we can hear you. It's just that you break up.
Yeah, yes, I can hear you.
I'm off the grid.
Yes, we do.
Oh man.
But in general, I do feel like,
is it better now?
Yeah. In general, I feel like it is a paradigm shifting dynamic when everyone's ego is in check.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of change can happen in our community if this is something that we were not even receptive to, and the fact that everybody is polygamous, but in having that as an option in our mind, where we're not so possessive of one another,
right?
We could see like what having an actual community in this world is about.
Mm-hmm. How do we get to that, though? How do we get to the bye-bye? How do we get to the hi Shania? How do we get to the non-possessive aspect in the world that's inundating us with our visuals, our auditory, our touch? How do we get to that? It's so hard for a woman to get there. You know what I mean?
I mean, and especially as a woman in America, we hide so many things. We hide our emotions. We have been put in a world where men are so dominant that we've had to prove ourselves even to be acceptable, So I think it takes a lot of breaking down in order for us to get there, like shedding the ego completely. The ego has to completely go,
Absolutely. Urban Indian says the family has to be honest with each other and work together, no matter how many in relationships, to work everything out. I agree. I agree. You gotta be honest with gotta be honest with yourself on that. My Umi, Imperial Rocks, my Umi was not jealous or possessive, even when I was over my father's house. The shadow, we have to do the shadow work.
Yeah.
Yes.
The shadow work. Listen, we all said yes. Okay? Let's get into it. We all have to do the shadow work.
Right.
But I tell you, the meditation chick, self-awareness and inner work, word of goddess. Our sister in Women Along the Way.
Yes.
She is out of South Africa. She is joining us. We are so thankful for you to be here, sis, because we know it's a 7-hour difference in time. But the inner work is key. It is key. That's where we peel back and get to the real trauma and those sacred spaces. Just you and spirit can go there. You know what I mean? And get into it. I mean, like really get into it. And then as we blossom, as we evolve, as we pivot, as we level up, as we get everything around us begins to change. And then if that energy around us begins to change, then we begin to, we pull in.
We evolve.
Right. Who and what we want, how we want to.
That's what Sundi was saying. Yeah. I mean, I'm grateful that he came on the show too. I know Return of the Goddess was saying that he definitely helped open the eyes from the female perspective. But like I said, he's a rare man. The majority of men that are out there, it's gonna take them. We like I said in the last show, we really have to heal each other and work on healing each other because the men are bruised too. We all have these traumas that we've been holding on to, and we have to figure out how to let it go.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I want to say really quickly, I want to speak to what we are doing here. We're having discussions every 2 weeks, but as you see, there's a lot of beautiful women, a lot of powerful women in this chat, in this group, in this conversations that we've had this evening. The group and the community that we have is called the Women Along the Way. I am the founder, and Tony and Miss Naya are just two of the beautiful, powerful sisters. I'm going to say it again, Return of the Goddess, that are part of this amazing tribe. And what we're doing is just amazing. We have a summit coming up in June, and then a retreat that's going to be amazing. We would love to have each and every one of you join us. But please go to our page, Women Along the Way. You can contact Tony Hickman, Urban Mystic, the Meditation Chick, which is me, or Women Along the Way.
Yes.
If you like what we're talking about, and tune in with us, have a conversation.
And we have a YouTube that has gone up, and so you can definitely follow our podcast on YouTube at Women Along the Way as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So,
I just wanted to say that.
What's up?
I just wanted to say that,
and I want to say this. If y'all do not follow Women Along the Way, also follow the Meditation Chick, and all of our social media should be in this feed. So follow and support our movement. Absolutely. We got a lot coming up, y'all. We got a lot coming up.
Y'all don't even know.
They don't know. They don't know.
Yeah.
Listen,
so
Brown, Bougie, and Balanced Tribe is coming through.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
All of the women are about their business. We have Emmy Award winners. We have doctors. We have therapists. We have healers. We have. It's an amazing group of women supporting each other holistically. We all don't have to show up the same way. Are men invited? We absolutely do have a brothers group that is being formed right now, because we're getting this question often. So yes, follow us. The men want to come too. I know that's right, because it's a whole vibe over here.
Exactly.
The Shadow Walker. Okay, I like that. The Shadow Walker. He is follow us,
Shadow
and
Walker.
we'll be getting that information out there, guys. Thank you so much for coming on. But I'm gonna let y'all, we'll take it away. You can take it away.
I mean, we're pretty much almost done. Like, if y'all have any questions before we
questions?
close, any questions about anything, because we're about to shut. I think everything was said. I wouldn't know anything else. You can follow my page at The Real Tony Hickman.
The Real Tony Hickman.
Oh yeah, we're not leaving the men behind. Look, we need the men. That's what this whole conversation is about.
Okay.
We need our men. Shoot.
Right.
Listen, hey, with
Trying to love y'all better.
Yes, it's a balance over here. So yes,
exactly.
We need our men. We need our Black men. They need to know that we can love them and balance them out. The best teacher is the woman. Love y'all. Blessings. Yes, that's the Shadow Walker. Asheo.
This live will be happening again. When are we doing? 2 weeks from now. So we have to look at the calendar. But 2 weeks from now, and it's every other Thursday.
Yes. And what's happening is, because there's so many sisters in our community, you will begin to see other sisters on here doing the interviews and speaking on topics, the pillars that are going to be leading up to our summit, which is some really good pillars. The woman, the intimate woman, the
Shadow Walker said that's too long.
The mother.
The maternal pillar. So we're going to be addressing something. We're going to be talking about the financial woman. I am a very successful businesswoman, so I'm going to be dropping jewels and things that we as brown sisters and brown brothers need to know. Those loopholes that they use that we should be using to, catapult us to the next level. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're doing. Ashe.
Well, any books? I have a book out. It's called The Man's Cry for Health. Even though I don't talk about a lot of polygamy in there, but I do have a lot of great information, and you can find that link on my website, on Instagram in my bio.
Yes.
But I would just say, start looking for the books. Seek and ye shall find. You know that, Shadow Walker.
Matter of fact, I'm going to ask the God and Son, the Great, some Jata, to drop some links or some information in there that, could just help us sisters and our kings. To review and do some work, you know what I mean? Because it's all about the evolution. And that's what we're here for. We're here for that. You know what I mean?
And there's actually,
in order to get there, we have to get past our ego. That's the main thing. So.
Yes. And there's a book called The Spirit of Intimacy that one of my friends is actually hosting a book club on pretty soon. And it's a small book, but it's so powerful. If you look up even just excerpts from it.
Naya,
what'd you say?
Empress Naya, drop it in the comments.
Oh, okay. I will right now.
Absolutely.
The Spirit of Intimacy. And
I think that's by Melodoma Some's wife. I think that I've heard of that. Yeah.
I couldn't remember the author's name, so I'm not even gonna hold you. But I got the title. I'm putting the title in here. Sorry.
So The Way of a Superior Man is a good book. Okay.
Oh, I've been meaning to read that.
Okay. The Superior. Okay. It's a good book.
Awesome.
Yes. So I am personally going to the Spirit of Intimacy. Thank you. Thank you, Naya, sis. I am going to be leaving you ladies.
We're all about to leave.
Yes.
Yeah, we all about to go.
Leave. So until y'all can, any one of you sisters just pull up the next date that we're gonna have the live. Can I just announce that now? When is the next? I mean, that will be the Thursday I'm in Atlanta, huh? Is it? No.
Yep.
Is it?
No.
Okay.
No, our media is the following week, so it's the 3rd. We will be on the 3rd.
Okay. All right.
At 7:30.
Yes. 7:30 Central, 6:30. I mean 6:30 Central, 7:30 Eastern.
Eastern Standard Time. Yes.
Absolutely. So on that note, is there any other questions? Because everybody, we got to go.
Be clocking out.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, man, follow the meditation chick. follow all of our social media. If you go to
especially
the
Women
Women
Along
the Way, you
Mm-hmm.
can find all of our social media. So
Yeah.
much
Thank
love,
you,
y'all. Thank you so
everyone.
much for
Thank you,
Thank
coming.
y'all
everyone,
for
for coming
coming.
in.
Thanks for the insight.
Peace,
Ashe,
Peace
yes.
and blessings.
Ashe.
Good night.
Peace.